Hi, everyone. My name is Georgette True, and I am the host of Relatives Fight CPS, and I also work with attorney Vincent Davis. I have my co-host, Miss Stacy, lovely Stacy. Hi, Stace.
Hi, Miss G.
Pain in my butt, Stacy, but I love you so much.
How are you today?
Mm. And we have a
Oh,
special
Miss G, you
guest,
froze.
Miss Carter.
Yes, hi.
Hi, sweetheart. And then, of course, we have Mr.
Kiki, you
Dave.
there?
How are you
Yes,
guys?
I am.
Hello.
Okay, so Stacy, you spoke to Carter, correct? So you know a lot about her story before. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, is that better?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so you spoke to her already, right, Stacy? Yeah. Okay. So Carter, I want you to share with us what exactly happened in your case.
My case is a little complex. I think it's necessary for me to give a little bit of background in order
Mhm.
for me to go into the CPS matter. I had basically started to be treated as a whistleblower after I was raising concerns about my landlord and the misconduct in a uninhabitable environment that basically he had left me and my child in for several years.
Mhm.
And once I went to go, report all of these activities by calling the health department, the city of Buffalo permit inspect department, just basically gathering everything I need to move forward with pursuing legal recourse against him.
We just talked about this, right, Dave?
Yeah. My landlord is a notorious slumlord, and the only way he gets away with it is because his family owns the courts down here in Pennsylvania. You're in
Wow.
Buffalo, not that far from you. We're
Yeah,
down
you're
here.
not that far from me at all.
Yeah, Scranton's not that far. When was driving truck, I'd often drive up to Buffalo and back in a day. So yeah, you're
Wow.
really fairly close.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, we're definitely not strangers. There's a lot of people I encounter that have faced the same adversaries. But so all these individuals wanted to do their due diligence by protecting him, which is by intimidating me, stalking me, computer crimes, blacklisting me, blackmailing me, you name it. So, on March 3rd, 2023, of course, I have been through several months of hell with everybody, medical professionals, police enforcement, unknown suspects, doing all type of stuff, planting drugs in my car, listening to my conversations, you name it. So now I'm contacted by Erie County CPS worker named Bernita Thompson. So she contacts me telling me that my daughter is facing imminent removal from her father's home. So I had asked her, to go in details about the situation, why she's facing imminent removal. She's telling me that it was a 6-month CPS investigation on the child's father, where he is being found guilty of allowing the kids to smoke weed, drink, miss school, whatever you name it. So I ended up, basically telling her, well, you can bring my daughter to where I'm at, which me and my son was at a hotel at the time. And she basically just started discriminated against me off the rip. So she's like, well, from my understanding, your daughter has been placed with a lady named Alicia Flood, who was my enemy. She's been living with her for 2 years at this point in time. So right now, she either has a choice to go with Alicia Flood or to a foster care agency. So then she further tells me, if you want to, voice your concerns, we have court today, and you can tell the judge that you want your daughter to come with you. So I said, okay. So now, long story short, there was never no court. What is it? Never no court hearing on the calendar at the time. I ended up calling downtown to the Erie County building, trying to get a meetings ID number, because you told me that the court appearance would be by, conference call. They're telling me there's nothing on the court schedule at all. So I did my due diligence. I contacted my cousin to make her aware of what's going on and tell her, just in case, I need you to be a 1017 resource, because I feel like the CPS agent, she's definitely discriminated against me. Something's not right. So now my cousin, we end up calling this lady back on a three-way, trying to, tell her, well, if you don't want her to come with the mother right now, I'll take her in. I have a clean house. We have children her age, and I don't mind that, taking her in until everything can get remediated. So she does a background check on her. She comes clear in the system. So now, once again, we're still waiting to see if something's on the calendar for the court. Nothing's on there. So now she ends up telling us again that, just be patient. You will be called in. So hours go by. I end up calling back to the court hearing, the court building, to find out, if it's a meeting ID generator. They told me that the whole case has been concluded. It was in person only. And now my daughter ended up with my enemy, Alicia Flood. Then I started a whole process where I'm getting discriminated against in court due to some fake mental health illness. So now I'm being looked at as a safety threat to my daughter for several months, being discriminated in the courtroom. And it was just nothing but pure hell the whole entire time. Just pure hell. So, me just by trying to, gain some type of insight, knowledge and stuff, I ended up coming across a couple people who had a lot of knowledge on, CPS and how they operate. So, I started basically annoying the hell out of CPS, sending them over notice of liabilities, intent to sue, trying to disqualify the judge and everything, to the point where I had to force them to bring my daughter back to her father, even though they still discriminated against me. So yeah, they're still in the background, but she's back home with her father. But it's just been hell. It's just been hell when it comes to my situation, when it comes
So
to them.
I'm so sorry you had to go through this, and
Yeah,
a lot of mothers are attacked. A lot of them. I
yeah,
wanna I wanna ask you a question though, because see, the problem is that you guys don't are not aware of everything that happens in CPS, right? So
no,
I know I have whistleblowers. Stacy heard me talk about several times. We had one on the show before, me and Stacy. Um, Many of you might not know this. Is Stacy and I are very close. She's like a sister to me now. She's like literally not even a friend. She's more like a sister. She's family, 100%. Um, but I want you guys to understand the whistleblowers that I have. They have explained a lot and showed me a lot of the corruption. Oftentimes, parent, the other parent, will not get the child back unless that parent knows somebody in the CPS system.
mm,
And the reason for that is because without the funding, right, from the federal government, they're not going to move the child into a home that belongs to the father or the mother. Why? Because the federal funding can only be funded excessively if the child is placed in a non-family member home. That funding was designed for non-family members, not for family members.
That's
So
yeah,
unbelievable. The waiver
it's a
program.
complete different incentives. So they always aim for for non-family members. Now, if they do decide to put the child with family, then they would say you have to be a foster parent. Like for example, the aunt, the
mm,
uncle, the grandparents, etc. As you guys know, as we kids grow up, we don't think of our grandmother or our, you know, uncles as foster parents. We see them as uncle, aunt, grandma, grandpa, like that. But the system divides us, right? Because they can't get the money unless they are placed in a foster home. That's why they force them to be foster parents.
mm,
How do they get them? By telling them, hey, you're going to make money from this.
mm.
So that's something you need also to keep in mind, Miss Carter, because there is absolutely no way he would have gotten your child back unless he has connection with the system, okay, or probably started a connection with a social worker. Usually they start
Understood.
connecting with social workers right away, especially if it's fathers, okay. We had clients who hired private investigators who found out that social workers are going to hotels with the dad, and you know
Wow.
yeah, so this is real stuff, and a lot of you guys don't understand. So when you say, oh yeah, you spoke to an advocate and they helped you, what have you, that's great, but there's no way it would have been succeeded, it would have been success unless your ex knows somebody. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So after, also, I'm glad that he has your child, because you would have lost your parental rights if your child was sent to a non-family member home. Okay.
Yes, they were trying to make us lose both of our parental rights.
Right. Which is good. So it doesn't really matter at this point if he has connection or not. To me, I would rather you keep your parental rights as a
Yeah,
mother. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So it doesn't
yeah,
to me that's irrelevant, but just something to keep in mind.
yeah.
Uh, did they give you visitation time?
They definitely put me on restrictions. The first part of the restrictions was something I requested to the court because my daughter was in the care of my enemy. So once she did not, or because the enemy ended up kicking her out, whatever. It's a whole lot that I didn't cover, but I just wanted to get the main thing out. So she ended up going to Gateway Longview too, where the restrictions for me to see her should have been, not null and void at this point in time. The restrictions only came in because of the conflict of interest with the person who you placed my daughter with.
Hmm.
So following that, of course, the CPS people definitely put restrictions still on the record, but they did it to the point where they forced the judge's signature to enforce that the judge authorized for these supervised visits. Whole entire time she didn't. She just verbally spoke it on the record, and that was about it.
How do you
So,
know they forced the signature?
oh, because this comes due to the fact, as I'm going along, got an advocate, she's coaching me on what to do, what to look for. So, when my daughter went to Gateway Longview, one of the social workers that she was appointed ended up calling me to schedule supervised visitation. So I'm asking her, why am I being forced to do supervised visitation with my daughter? So she like, oh, I'm not certain. That's just what Miss Thompson had told me. She said it was court ordered. So I said, when was this allegedly court ordered? She was like, oh, on June 22nd, 2023. I said no. She never ordered anything as far as me being having supervised visitation that day. That day was a trial. So I ended up calling the CPS worker and asking her what's going on, where does order come from? She tells me, oh, this happened with, the trial. Miss Lavallo ended up basically, doing supervised visitation. I said, well, I don't remember. I was present. So no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was July 21st, that day that you were at your mother's funeral when we had court. So I said, well, why did she put supervised visitations on me? She said, I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember. She said, I just know she made the order. So I said, you told me that this lady woke up on this day and said, okay, I'm going to put supervised visitations on Miss Carter just because I could. She said, basically said pretty much. So I said, okay, I'll call the court. Everybody's saying the same thing. The law clerks, the county clerks, there's no order in the system whatsoever. Basically, don't know what I'm talking about. So I said, I figured that much. So I calls back the CPS worker, and she's basically sticking to her story. Oh, I had the court order with me. I promise you she did. Okay, whatever, cool. So I called back Ms. Gomethy to tell her, which is my child's social worker at the time at Gateway Longview. I'm telling her there is no court order for this. So as time goes along, I'm still stressing the issue. So then I said, you know what? If it's a court order, let me see this court order. So she has her colleagues email me the court order. It's probably about 7 to 10 pages. The language in a court order has nothing about me. It just has my name at the end of the document that says I have to have supervised visitation. There's no arguments, no nothing. And I think the judge's name, it was wrote in pencil. It wasn't even, you could tell it was wrote in pencil. So I said, you made a whole fake court order. Wow. Wow. Like, okay. So I
You know
kept it from
what?
my records. That's evidence.
Wait a minute now, Miss Carter.
Mm-hmm.
You have a complete, amazing, and clear lawsuit to me. I think you need to talk to Stacy about that. Stacy is
Yeah.
really good at
Yeah, she
lawsuit.
is.
Yeah. Um, and I trust her completely,
Me too.
100%. Pretty much the
Yeah.
only one I trust. Uh,
Yes.
but you have a very good lawsuit, and you need to
Yeah.
act on it immediately. Um, Another thing too, the social workers, I have been hearing this a lot from everywhere in the United States, is the social workers are dictating and making rules without them literally going to court. I have a case right now today. In fact, I spoke to the aunt of the mother, and that case. So basically, social workers opened up a case on an innocent mother,
Mm.
did nothing wrong because her sister can't have children, and her
Wow.
sister is after her child. And that's the God honest truth, because I spoke to the aunt, the maternal aunt, she knows the family. She told me that her sister has been after the baby since she was pregnant with the baby. The CPS worker gave her sister that her sister kidnapped the child, and then said that the mother, because she's calm, she's a calm mom, like she doesn't react when kids make boo boos here and there. So the sister said that she reported to the CPS that she's too calm and she's a psychopath.
Wow.
Right. So the aunt said she's not a psychopath. She's just very calm. When kids make a mistake, she's like, oh, well, she does stuff like that. Like, oh, well, gravity, like when the child like drops an egg and then it breaks, the egg. And then the mother would say something like, oh, you just wanted to know gravity, huh, baby? And then she would pick up her child. I've seen videos. She's very sweet, like very, very sweet. So sweet. She sounds like she's 18 or 17, but she's
Yeah.
actually 34, right? Anyways, this is happening right now. And then the social worker made the decisions not to return the child with her without an investigation.
Mm-hmm. Same with me.
Yep, and they didn't even open up a case. And I said, "Are you sure you don't have a case? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?" She said, "We're sure." And then all of a sudden, after 18 months, they opened up the case.
Wow.
It's a long story. If I tell you guys exactly everything, it's going to be hours.
Yeah, that's why I cut it short too.
Yeah,
There's a lot
this
more to
woman
happen.
is in LA County, and I
Oh,
know this happens everywhere.
yes.
You guys have to understand the social workers can dictate and tell you guys anything you want, but it's not true. It's not true. You can't handle this on your own. I'm being honest with you. You need, if you can afford an attorney, get a CPS defense attorney. And I tell this to everyone: do not hire a family law attorney. What our new client did, hired a family law attorney. That family law attorney took a smaller retainer and did not help her. And she lost it. She lost it. And
And
her aunt
sometimes,
is the one that speaks for her because she doesn't know how to communicate anymore. She
and they
lost her
dig
mind. Yeah, go
they
ahead.
dig the case deeper and harder to get out of too. Actually, they
Yeah,
do more damage.
yeah, because they allow certain evidence to be submitted that's irrelevant from the social workers, and they do not submit the evidence that the mother or the parents have. So basically,
Yes,
they're sabotaging the case like a court-appointed attorney, because what they do is they make a deal with the devil. That's exactly what they do. They
exactly.
make a deal with the devil, meaning the social workers and their attorneys and the judges. Why? Because that's called job security. There is absolutely no attorney, especially a young attorney, that doesn't want to be a judge. So, in order for them to be judges, they can't go against the state. You guys need to think. They can't go against the state because they can't be judges, right? They're going to be blacked out or labeled as no, no, no. So that's why they do what they do. They take your money and they side against you.
Mm-hmm.
They side with the state against you, and then give you some BS crap that doesn't make any sense. Like, you need to plead guilty or you're not going to get your kids back. That is the dumbest advice an attorney can ever give his client.
Mm-hmm.
Ms.
Go ahead.
Carter,
Yes.
just recently, I think it was literally the show before this one, we were talking with Dave. His story is similar, where he was living in subsidized housing, and he was complaining about the conditions, and they retaliated not by taking his children into CPS custody, but putting his adult daughter, into a guardianship.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Surprised
God.
you.
Wait. Did I hear that right, Stacy? What did you just say?
So Kiki, Ms. Carter's story is that when she was living in subsidized housing,
Oh, okay.
that she was being a whistleblower about the deplorable conditions that she was living in, and the retaliation was to come after her child.
Yeah, that's
And
exactly what happened to me.
One
and,
part.
and that's what we were talking about with Dave about his situation. He was a whistleblower about where he lived too, and then they didn't take his child for a CPS, but they trafficked her into a guardianship.
It's crazy.
you know that exactly retaliation happens from nurses if you go against the hospital, or if you want a second opinion, they will retaliate against you. If you fight with a
I
nurse or
wouldn't.
argue with a doctor, except you, Stacy, we all know you're special. They need more of you everywhere, honey.
Some would not, and I respect the ones that would not, but there are definitely those that do.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the thing about it is, it's called job security, you guys. Doctors, therapists, psychiatrists, nurses, police officers, especially police officers, landlords, landlords, and neighbors. Landlords will call CPS against you to get you out of the unit if they want to evict you. You know why? Because they know it's going to deplete you so bad, you're going to lose your job. You're not going to
Mm-hmm.
be able to afford rent. And then you're going to lose your mind and leave. That's the
Mm-hmm.
easiest way than to just take you to court to evict you. That's the fastest, easiest way to get rid of you. That's how sad it is. Exactly what I'm telling you guys right now. Okay? And Stacy, or Dave, you guys want to?
Nope,
Dave
you're
was
right,
talking
Miss
about
G.
it before the show. Dave was talking about this before the show also, where in his state, Dave, are you there? Oh my God, Dave is asleep. Or is he frozen? Dave.
I think he's frozen.
Oh my.
Right.
But he looks like he fell asleep.
It looked like he's falling asleep.
Dave, hello, Dave. Dave to Earth. Okay.
Oh.
Dave. Earth calling Dave. He's in another planet now. Okay, he's gone. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, you and Dave were talking before the show, Stacy, about landlords, correct? You guys were having a conversation about that?
Yeah. Well, no, it was in the show last time. We were all you and I were talking about it too, Miss G.
Yeah. What about neighbors? How many neighbors have reported innocent mothers? How many? Because they don't like them? Because they're
Well,
jealous of them, or because the neighbor has a dog that they don't like animals. I'm giving you example. If they see a child playing on the bike and the mother's in the kitchen watching the child with gated, front yard, they report them to CPS saying the child is unattended, unwatched by the mom.
well,
So
and not only that, Miss G, but there's the naive people too who truly do believe that CPS is there to help children, and it might be something along the lines of neglect, where the child is still better off in that house, but they're naive thinking that something good is going to come of the situation when really they're inviting traffickers over to the house.
yeah, and they're deflecting away from their movement. They're making them focus on something else so they can keep doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all, Vanessa mentioned something. She said, who is overseeing these agencies and auditing them?
Nobody.
But there is
No,
somebody, but they're
but
not doing anything.
well, listen,
Job
Miss G,
security, like you said, Miss G. Job
Yeah,
security.
I'm
yeah,
going to tell you a little loophole. At least in New York State, okay? The state cannot have jurisdiction over a county, right? So the Office of Children and Family Services is a state agency. So technically, they cannot tell the county what to do with CPS. So they can suggest that CPS make these certain changes, but they cannot reprimand anybody. They can't force them to do anything. They can only say, this is how it should be done, and here's a performance improvement plan. But they have no jurisdiction or ability to enforce anything or any oversight. So it really is lawlessness because they can't tell the county what to do. And in New York State, CPS is operated by the counties.
and the mayor has a lot to
Well,
do
the
He's
mayor
with
is
a
a city
he's a part
person.
of the problem.
Yep. And
Our mayor is a part
like
of the
for
problem.
example, Gavin Newsom, he knows billions of dollars supposed to be going through for the homeless. Where is it going? Where is it going? It's not going to the homeless. For example, they're taking the homeless children. They're taking homeless people who lost their jobs, can't afford paying rent, being kicked out while they're giving illegal immigrants free housing, which is sad to me. Okay, very, very sad that the American people are being kicked while the illegal immigrants are getting the best treatment there is. And God forbid if one of them committed a crime, they're not going to jail. Even if they do, they come out.
Yep.
They come out the same day. You know, this to me, look, everyone in the government knows what's going on. But for example, if one of the Republican senators or, you know, any republic exposes the corruption, the Democrats come after them harder. And then they start passing bills to sign to give parents no rights at all to their children. That's exactly what they do. Now, to me, I told you guys before, I used to be a Democrat for over 20 years. I voted Democrat. Not anymore. I'm telling you guys right now, they're the ones who are destroying our culture. They are the one who are destroying the children. And if you guys noticed that they say they're for the people, but how many mothers and fathers who got reported from DPSS? DPSS, where you go collect cash aid and food stamps and Medi-Cal. DPSS reports you to CPS because you're a number now in the system. You've been collecting cash aid for more than 6 months. When you're collecting cash aid more than 6 months and they see you popping out kids, they see you because you have to update your case files every quarter. And then right away, as soon as you say you're pregnant, baby born, CPS is involved. They tell you, oh, anonymous call. They make you think it's your cousin that you had a fight with in Thanksgiving dinner. They make you think it's your neighbor that didn't like your dog. They make you think it's your cousin from Pennsylvania, whatever the case may be. But what I'm trying to tell you, their strategy is so demonic. They're all connected together. But that's why the Democrats, I call them the demonic rats, what they do is they make you think they're helping you as the people by providing food stamps, cash aid, and Medi-Cal. No, there's always a motive behind free. There's always a motive behind a need to help. They are waiting for your children. They're coming after your children because you're a number. They know everything about you through DPSS. And I'm telling you the God honest truth. This is exactly how they operate. They're very close tied together. I want you guys to understand this and be aware of this. And people like me and Stacy and now Miss Carter are aware because we all had to go through it. I go through it every single day with each one of you guys that call me. Each one of you guys. So please get yourself educated. Please talk to valid people. Not everybody who says they're child advocates, they're child advocates. They're stupid. They're the dumbest in the face on the face of the earth. Why? They're so high all the time. They need to put the pipe down because their brain cells are literally lowered in numbers. Why? Because they smoke so much drugs or do so much drugs, they call themselves child advocates. To me, I would not trust myself near one. Okay? So guys, be aware who you give your ears to because you are your own worst enemy. You yourself, as an individual, as a parent, you can sabotage your own life by trusting someone you don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, the one that I trust 100% is Attorney Davis and Stacy. And I'm being honest with you because I know them. And Miss Carter even trusts Stacy. This is wrong. But you guys, the ears you guys are giving. I told Stacy yesterday a story about somebody that called me. And what did I tell you, Stacy? She got it from a child advocate. So a child advocate told her, and she recorded the child advocate, by the way. She told her that she can divorce the
the
an
termination.
adoption that happened in 2017.
Yeah.
She can divorce a state adoption that happened in 2017, and that child advocate told her she can help her. So when I spoke to her, I said, "No, ma'am, I don't want to waste your money or your time, right? Because again, what you do to others, you will be judged for." I didn't want
Mm-hmm.
to take that woman's money and say, "No, we can help you." No, no. She doesn't know where the child is. She thinks the child is out of the country, right? She can't get her case filed because it's confidential. That I want her to know who adopted the children, I mean. So she thinks the child advocate is right and I'm wrong. And I told her, I said, "Look, if I was an evil woman, I would just take your money and say, we can help you. But I can't do that. I can't do that."
She wants to hear the wishful thinking answer.
Right. So I told her, I said, "If the child advocate can help you." And then she said that the child advocate got her kids back. Really? Really? Are you sure about that? Because I can take pictures with kids and say they're my kids. Okay?
Yeah.
I can be
Yeah.
a child advocate that didn't lose her kids and say that I did lose my kids, so I can just help you and make money off of you. Child advocates also, they make you think they're helping you, but they don't know anything about the law. They're getting information from other attorneys online. They hate me for saying this. Child advocates hate me for saying this because that exposes them. They don't like to be exposed. I can count on my finger, I know eight of them, eight child advocates on social media who act like they know what they're doing. They're sending people to write comments that my friend, Miss So and so got me my kids back. I'm so grateful for her, blah, 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 blah. Or him, men or women, child advocates. You guys have to be very aware of this. And you can't just give your ear to the devil because the devil doesn't come with horns and a tail, right? The
We
devil's not going to
Mhm.
show you his true colors to scare you. The devil's going to be a calm, right? Using
there's
other.
a certain well-known attorney.
Are you talking about Stacy? Stay where you were. Look at her in slow
Wait, okay,
motion. Stacy,
is it better here? Is it
Stacy,
better here?
Stacy, I'm going to. I
Is it
swear, I
better?
can't wait to see you. I can't wait. The first time I
Is it better?
see you, I am going to put you in the
I know.
corner for at least 30 minutes.
Well, I have to get going here to pick up my kids.
I'm sorry, but go on.
Well,
What
one
were
thing
you
I'm going to
saying?
tell
But
you
I
is
want to hear what you're saying.
I was just I was just letting I was just letting my dog in, and he was trying to bring a mouse in too, by the way. So, but there's a certain well-known child advocate who is an attorney who was disbarred, and he
God bless you.
tells people he's an
God
expert
bless you.
witness. And there's a mother that I know who is suffering very badly with breast cancer right now, and he
Oh my God.
advertised himself to her as an attorney.
Oh my God. That happens all the
And
time.
I said I said to her, "No, no, he was disbarred, and your opposition, they're going to sniff that out, and all this money you're going to pay for this expert lawyer, and he's going to get discredited, right?" And sure enough, she talked with her attorney. He told her the same thing. She had already put $1,000 down to retain him because he was telling her he was a lawyer. He didn't say he was disbarred, and
Mm, mm, mm.
so um, she wanted the money back because she wasn't going to use his services, and he won't give her the $1,000 back. Now she's gravely ill with breast cancer, and he still won't give it back.
So,
People like this, they're going to suffer the consequences of their own action. You know why? Because even though she has cancer, you never know what's going to happen to him. See,
exactly.
karma is real. That's why when I talk to people, I don't lie to them because I know it will come back to me. It will
Well,
come back to
Misty,
me or my family. Go
you
ahead.
can know, you can know, we helped her out.
We helped her out. What?
Well, I did, and someone I know that can write really well.
Oh, you mean Miss Carter?
No, that's the mom with breast cancer,
Oh, the one. Okay, got it. Okay.
to help her get her
Yeah,
$1,000 back. Yeah.
I believe
That's
you.
great.
I believe you. You guys, I mean, there are good. Well, I don't know if there are, but I only know Stacy. I can only trust what I trust. I'm
Right.
sorry. She's the only one I trust. If you guys have any questions and, talk to Stacy. Talk to Stacy
All
and
right,
she
Miss
would
G,
lead you.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna get my kids now. But it's so wonderful talking with Miss Carter and you today.
Absolutely.
And
I love you, Stacy.
we'll
She said, I love you too, Miss G. I know. Okay. she did. Oh, and then she got stuck. But yeah,
Yes.
but Stacy is great. I love her so much. If you guys have a case in New York, Buffalo, New York, or New York State, just contact her. Really, honestly, she's
Yep.
good.
I'm in
Good
Buffalo, New
people.
York.
Yeah, and by the way, I if Stacy's still there in 3 years, I am moving to Buffalo, New York.
Hopefully, it's a better city.
Well,
Hmm.
I want to be where Stacy is. That's how much I trust her. She's amazing.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of people in my life, and I can count on my finger how many people I trust.
Understood.
Yeah, four.
Mm.
I can call family. Four. I used to call everyone family because I love them, but then I realized you can't trust everyone you see because just because you love them and you trust them right away, it's an empathic thing, right, in me.
Mhm.
So I tend to trust the wrong ones. But I learned in my 50s, in my mid 50s now, that you have to give them, like, you have to, like, watch their behavior before you
And
trust
practice discernment. Yep.
and discernment, right? And I think that's what it is because you trust yourself. You tend to trust others to do the right thing, and
Yes.
oftentimes we give trust to the wrong people.
Yes.
So, but Stacy, I can honestly tell you guys, I thank God for her every single day. Um, she would not lie to you guys. She's very honest, and I love honesty because honesty tells you a lot about a person.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and that's what I love. Honesty. The only thing that discredit a person in my eyes is when you lie. When you
Yes.
continue to lie and it inflict pain on people, I can't trust you. They do it
A
like
lot of
people.
those.
I get happy when they inflict pain. To believe it or not, some
Yeah.
people get happy when they inflict pain, whether on children, right, on you, or a family member. Either way, they enjoy it because it gives them power, and that's exactly what CPS is, Miss Carter. They get
Mhm.
power. It's like an energizer bunny, right?
Yep.
From Duracell. So the Duracell in the social workers is us. Our
Yes.
actions is giving them power, meaning our passion, our passion to get our kids back, our anger, our resentment. All this is normal in a human being. When your
Yes.
kids are not with you, for God's sakes, how can they judge you, say you're crazy, diagnose you as crazy, right? And you did nothing except
Nothing.
get angry because they
Yep.
stole your child. I
Yep.
mean, and that's exactly what they did to you, Miss Carter. I know that for a fact because you sound and you look like a mama bear. Like, don't F with my child. And that's exactly what you look like to me. You're like, okay, let me
Mhm.
just put on my hat, I mean, my scarf, and, fold my sleeves up,
Yes.
and we're going to
Everybody
be
has to
fine.
be held accountable.
Yep.
Everybody.
Yeah. And
Everybody.
and that's the thing. So every mother is a mama bear except the ones who actually neglect their children.
Yes.
Now those are the ones that needs to be saved. And but they look at, and I told you guys this a million times on my shows, what they look at is kids who are not being abused because they're adoptable.
That makes sense.
Adoptable, yeah. Unless they find a home that wants to have autistic kids, you make more money a month for.
Yeah, I heard. This is
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, autistic children, non-vocal, are the best. Why? Because you can abuse them. They can't talk. It's horrible what they
Mm-hmm.
do. to children. They actually put the children in harm's way just to
Mm-hmm.
make millions of dollars. So CPS used to a CPS worker back in God back in the 80s and 90s, they used to make like 35,000 a year.
Mm.
If you Google your social worker, I bet you anything you'll find some kind of felonies against them. If you Google your court appointed attorney, I bet you anything you'll find some kind of felonies against them. You can also Google your social worker and find out how much he or she makes, and it's close to $198,000 before bonuses.
Wow.
And they only have a high school diploma. A
Wow.
lot of people say, oh, they have to have a bachelor and this and that. No, they don't. No, they don't. I know social workers, and I have proof of that, who only passed high school barely, and they're the supervisors for the department because they lied to protect their supervisor. So their supervisor to give them a promotion is to make them a supervisor in a different department because they protected her lies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's all twisted mind games. And I told you guys about the whistleblowers that I have that used to work as social workers. The ones who decide to stay with the department are the ones who enjoy the corruption.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever think a social worker is there to help children. Don't ever, ever in your mind think a social worker. I don't care if she's on the news saying, I took this role to protect family. No, sweetie, you took this role because you know you can get away with things, the evil things that you do, and you're going to make money from it. And it's called
Yep.
job security.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So again, they need sociopath narcissists to make them money. They're not going to hire an empath, right, who does the right thing, follows the law to make them money.
Nope.
Think about it. And that's why there's a lot of children being trafficked. A lot of children. You guys should read the story about the two kids, a 9-year-old and I think a 9 and 11, if I'm not mistaken with the age, but you can check. In New Jersey, they put them in a sex trafficked home. Social worker knew there was a sex offender there. She put them there. She made money from that. The kids were being sex trafficked. So I'm letting you guys know. If you guys think the social workers are not dating cartels, you're very wrong. If you guys think there is no cartels, like age 16 or 14, doing the job for them, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You guys have to understand this is worldwide trafficking children. Worldwide. They're taking them to Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Guam, God knows where else, everywhere in the world. But the heart of trafficking is in the United States. California is number one. California is number one. Texas number two. New York number three.
Could imagine. The bigger the
Okay.
state, the bigger the crime.
Yeah. So you guys better wise up as parents out there, and you guys need to understand that when they're exposed, they hate it. But now their exposure is wide open, and they're saying, "What you gonna do about it?" We don't care. Like Hollywood, worshiping Satan on the stage now. We didn't know. I didn't know Beyonce and what's her name, Madonna, and all these people worship. I had no idea
Until they were exposed.
until they came out also saying, "Oh, what are you going to do about it?" Again, you don't know who you're entertaining. This world is
Exactly.
full more of evil than good. Oftentimes, I used to hear from my parents, God rest their souls, there's more good than bad people. And that's what I lived my life thinking. And in reality, if they were alive right now, I would tell them, Mom and Dad, you're wrong. There's more evil than good. There's more evil in the workplace, in the supermarkets, on the
Mm-hmm.
street, wearing a badge,
Mm-hmm.
sitting on a bench, wearing black robe,
Mm-hmm.
doing the devil's work.
Mm-hmm.
Because demons need to enter humans in order for them to interact with other humans.
I
A
agree.
demon will never show you their true colors. I mean, their true appearance, because you're going to be scared. A demon will always, demons, not one, demons will enter humans in order for them to do demonic work using that human. That's why you always have to protect your mind and guard yourself with
At
God's
all
word.
times. Yep.
Always anoint your home, anoint your children daily. So
Yes.
that's exactly how you protect yourself from demons. Okay. But understand they exist, understand that they doing the devil's work, understand that. Please understand that. And every attorney, like I heard Attorney Davis the other day talking to a client, one of our clients, and I was on the phone because oftentimes I'm on calls to write notes. I always write notes of what the conversation, you know, happened. You know
Hmm.
what took place. One of the clients said, "Mr. Davis, I can't understand why they keep doing this." And Attorney Davis says, "Why do you keep asking that? You already know that they're behaving demonic and
Yeah.
demonic, and you already know that we have to come up with a strategy, not for justice. The strategy is different to get your children back.
Yes.
You can get justice when you sue them. Suing them is justice, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. So
But
in
you
order
gotta
for
learn.
you gotta learn, right, Miss Carter? You have to learn how which step you take first.
Yes.
Not every attorney understands how to win cases, CPS cases. Let me put it to you that way. You have to be trained and knowledgeable in how to go against the enemy, but in a way where the enemy doesn't know you're going against them. There's a different strategy. Let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. Not that your hands don't belong to you, but that was one of God's wisdom. Don't let the other person know what you're doing, because once you do, they're going to stop it, or they're going to pray against it.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that devils exist, therefore witchcraft exists, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they will pray to their devil against your blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let anyone know what you're doing. I know that the truth hurts people sometimes, but somebody has to tell you the truth. And I hope to God you guys listen and open up your eyes on what's going on. And this is not God's fault. And I keep telling people that it's nothing to do with God. This is your own doing. This is the people you interacted with. These are the people that you dealt with. God didn't do this, but God can get us of this, but you have to go to Him. That was our choices when Jesus came. Take our sins. God gave us the freedom of choice to choose what we want to do. Either go to Him or go to the devil. You choose.
Yep.
Either way, it's your choice. God gave you that choice, that freedom. He's not punishing you right away for your crimes because He gave you a choice, and God is not a liar, so He's not going to take it back.
Exactly.
Okay? So keep that
Exactly.
in mind. I learned to hang out with people who are like-minded, uh, like-minded as me with God. Because again, you are who you hang out with.
Yep.
I keep that in mind too.
Yep.
So stop blaming God for your own shortcomings. Start working on yourself and start looking at God for help. But He needs you to be loyal to Him. I wouldn't want you to be in my life and you're not loyal to me, right?
Absolutely not. Mm-hmm.
There you go. So imagine God, the creator, right? The one that gave us life, the one that we're breathing because of Him, wants your
Mm-hmm.
100% attention, not 50% attention. So keep
Yep.
that in mind. Miss Carter, I am truly honored to have met you.
Thank
And
you.
I'm so
Likewise.
blessed, honey. And I know you're a victim. I can sense it. I felt it as I speak with you right now. And you are more than welcome to join us on this podcast whenever you have time, or you can let
Okay.
Stacy know.
Yeah.
If you have any other stories you want to share with us to help other families, please do. Um, there's another show. What's today? I don't even know the days anymore, honestly.
I believe the
Today's
30th,
Friday.
correct?
Oh my God, the 31st. Today's Friday.
The 31st?
I had
Oh.
no idea.
Oh yeah. Friday 31st. Yeah.
Yep. Um, it's called age, you guys. I forget sometimes. I swear.
It's okay. It happens
But
to the
yeah,
best.
but you're more than welcome, Miss Carter, to be on the show with us. I would love that. Seriously.
Well,
I love
hopefully my
your energy.
next appearance will be me having a success story against these people more than another sob story.
And no, but you know what? Be careful what comes out of your mouth, Miss Carter, because with God, everything is possible. If you keep saying that,
Absolutely.
when you speak it out loud, the devil will use it because he knows your plan. The devil
Yeah.
cannot read your mind, right? He cannot. He cannot. I guess he doesn't know your heart. Obviously, he cannot do anything unless you speak it out. Yeah, he has to hear you, and if you write it down, he can't read. That demons
Mhm.
can't read. It's so weird. I know you guys think it's crazy, but they can't read. It's the God honest truth. They
Yep.
can't read what you write down. They can only hear what comes out of your mouth. Okay?
Agreed. Hmm.
So be careful with that. So if you want something from God, if you don't, if you want to just write it down and put it under the altar, right?
Hmm.
Think about it and pray over it within your heart. Do not speak it aloud. Do not let the devil know what you are requesting from God. And don't talk
Agreed.
to other people about your case. This is why your gossip about your case will go from one person to the next, to the next, to the next, and then they're going to talk about it, about your case, to the next, to the next, to the next, to the wrong people that go against you because they're talking to the people who are possessed by demons
Exactly.
and they don't even know it.
Yep.
Think about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let not your right hand know what your left hand is doing. And always speak victory over yourself. Always speak victory over your life. Always speak victory over your children and victory over your home and your family. Why? Because you believe in Christ. You have God in your heart. If you doubt, right, then you don't believe in God. Then you don't trust Him.
Yeah.
We doubt more than we praise God. You know why?
Yeah.
Because it's the human in us.
Yeah.
We get
I
scared.
agree.
We're
I'm
scared.
guilty.
We're scared. We're scared. That's how it is. The devil puts you in fear.
Hmm.
Why? Because he wants you bondage. When you're
Hmm.
afraid, you're like this, right? You're afraid to move. You're like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna
Yes,
a
ma'am.
lot of people in high places will fear
Hmm.
you. They'll say, oh yeah, I'm not gonna pay you if you don't do this. I'm not gonna give you this because you're not obedient to me, or blah 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 blah. But God said with him everything is possible. But we
Yes.
still don't believe, we doubt him because we doubt. We see so
Yep.
many problems in front of us, we tend to doubt God. That's where you don't want to be. God will use people, your own enemies. He will make them your footstool to step up.
Yes, he
He will
will.
use your enemy. And I telling you this, I've seen it, I'm seeing it right now. People think they have power over you. I don't care if they're your boss, they're your aunt, uncle, doesn't matter.
Hmm.
God will humble and break their back so you can step on them
Hmm.
and lift
That's
yourself
the
high.
goal. Absolutely.
If you can't trust God, then you got nothing.
At all.
That's all I'm
At all.
saying. You
At
know,
all.
keep that in mind. I pray that you guys understand my words because I'm not making them up. They're actually in the Bible. And if you guys think that the Bible is written by just anyone, maybe the American Bible, but not my Bible. My pages, my Bible, my Coptic Orthodox Bible. Think about that for a second. It's the original Bible. So, Egypt, Northern Africa, same as Ethiopians have the real Bible. I have compared our Bible to the American Bible and there's missing pages, missing verses.
I could imagine.
Okay. So maybe
Hmm.
here you guys have um, it's written by the government. I don't know, I'm assuming, right?
Oh,
But it's
thank you, Nadine, for the message.
But in I don't know. You guys have to understand. You need to look at the real wording on the Bible, and also if Christianity was nothing, if Jesus was not real, why is Christianity the only thing being attacked by Islam?
Every single day. Every single day.
Yep, exactly. Think about it. Why is it Christianity the only one?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm. So keep that in mind. I love you guys so much. And as God is my witness, I want nothing. Thank you, Miss Carter. And I want nothing but good for you guys because I believe in family. I felt it. I was raised by a tight family. I
Yeah.
don't know about divorce. Growing up, I didn't know about domestic violence. I didn't know about any of this. My dad never striked us, and he never yelled at us. He literally talked to us, mom and dad. It was communication. That's what I'm used to, communicating. Hey,
Yeah.
wrong. I felt bad. I'm so sorry. Blah blah, like that. Don't do it again. Do you know what you did wrong, or let's talk about it later. That's how my family are. But you guys witnessed the negative, right? So you see the negative right away. But I'm trying to tell you that if your life is bad growing up, try to change it when you're older. When you decide to have family, try to change it. Meaning,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to repeat how you were raised. Stay away from problems. Don't go to clubs. Don't do drugs. Don't drink alcohol. All of that, God is not there. God is not in a club. God is not at a bar where you're wasting your life and everything that you have. God is not there, right? So I want to be in the midst of God. I'm not going to be in the midst of a club where you're shaking your booty all night or around men, right? So to
Mm-hmm.
me, how are you going to face God just because God forgives, but you keep making the same mistake over and over again, the same sin over and over again, knowing it's a sin? You think you're mocking God? You think you're smarter than God? Think about that for a second, too. Once you have a family, once you have children, God first, them, and that's God in the midst of you guys, and that's what's holding it together.
Mm-hmm.
Do not waver to the right, do not waver to the left. You go straight path with God only, and take care of your family. Husband, take care of your wives, and wives, take care of your husbands and kids. There is no room for drugs. There is no room for alcohol. There's no room for any of this crap. Because once you open Pandora's box, the devil is going to walk in, and he will not walk in unless you invite him in. Your sin invites the devil in your home, in your life. And I felt the need, and God is my witness. I don't know why I'm saying all this right now, but my heart is just talking to you guys. Your sin invites the devil in. So stop and think before you react, and think about your children. Think about your family. Who you have children with matters a big deal.
Sure does.
Okay? So God bless you guys. Miss Carter, again, I'm very blessed to have you. And
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I will see you again hopefully next week if you want to come back.
Okay.
Let Stacy know, or Grace. I think you have Grace's information as well too. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you
All right.
again.
Bye,
God-
guys.
All right. Bye bye.